What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be taking you guys back onto the computer with me, and I'm going to be showing you what a bad supplier looks like and what a good supplier looks like, and how you guys can make sure that you choose and work with a good supplier. And this is all going to be through Alibaba. So let's get into the video. So here we are on Alibaba, and I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of how to find a good supplier, because it's definitely worth knowing, because if you do mess this up and go with one bad supplier, then you just lost all of your money. Now, there are a few things that we need to be aware of, and that is middlemen or third parties, and also scammers, obviously. So scammers are very rare on Alibaba, and Alibaba does a very good job of getting rid of them, but it's not worth us taking the risk and not spending that extra few minutes and guaranteeing that we aren't going to get scammed. So I'm going to show you guys how to make sure that you don't get scammed, and I'm also going to be showing you what a third party or middleman looks like. And if you don't know what a third party or middleman is, it's basically, imagine they are actually sourcing products from someone else and they're charging you a fee for that. So if we are going on here and we find, let's say, an iPhone case, we want to sell iPhone cases, we find a listing that sells iPhone cases, and that person isn't actually manufacturing the iPhone case that we are looking at. They're going to another company and sourcing it from them, and then charging a little bit higher price than they sourced it for, and then they make that profit. So basically they're doing nothing, they're just getting extra money for free just for selling it. And that's what we are trying to do, kind of, in a way, on Amazon. So we definitely don't want to do that, because we're paying a little bit extra higher prices, and we just don't want to deal with middlemen because they're kind of sketchy sometimes. So let's get onto the search bar. I'm going to type in iPhone cases because I feel like that would be easy and general. iPhone case. And let's search and see what we get. Okay, so right off the bat, before we even go into any of these listings, there are a few things that we want to look at and make sure that we have. And if you look at the top where it says supplier types right here, there are going to be a few boxes that you can see. So right off the bat, we see trade assurance, and trade assurance is basically, like, think about it like PayPal. PayPal, you can dispute a charge, or if you pay someone money, you can dispute it and get your money back. So if you do end up getting screwed or scammed, you can get your money back. Basically, that's what trade assurance does, but it's through Alibaba, and they're going to make sure that your payment and everything to delivery goes well. And if it doesn't, then you can always go through trade assurance and get your money back. So we're going to want to click that, and then onto the next box. This is going to be gold supplier. Now, a lot of people think that gold supplier means that they are working with a good supplier, but that's not always the case. So it is something that we want to check, but first off, I want to tell you that gold supplier is almost like, think of it as Amazon Prime. These suppliers are paying a little bit of extra money to get that service to be considered a gold supplier. So really, they haven't done anything different. They don't need to do anything special or have any good reviews or good, I don't know, whatever you want to say. All they have to do is pay Alibaba a little bit more money to get that label as a gold supplier. So really, it means nothing to us, because a third party or scammers could pay Alibaba to be a gold supplier. So it is also something to be aware of, but it's also something that we might as well click just to filter out maybe a few more bad people. Because if they are paying Alibaba for that premium membership to be a gold supplier, then most likely they are a little bit better to work with. Now, the last box that we want to check is going to be the assessed supplier box, and this is going to be basically a supplier is going to be inspected by a third party, and a lot of things are going to be verified through the third party. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by that once we click on a listing. But those are the three things that we want to click to make sure that we are working with good suppliers. And then there are also some more, I guess you would say, investigative tools and strategies that we can use to go on the actual listings and make sure that these suppliers are actually legit. So let's go ahead and click on a few of these listings and check them out. So if you guys don't know anything about Alibaba, if you guys want to contact suppliers, you can click this button right here. If you want to check out what the MOQ is, which is the minimum order quantity, that's usually right here. And some people don't actually list how much their MOQ is, but most do. So we can see this guy, you have to order 50 pieces at least. This one 100 pieces, and so on and so forth. This one piece, so they really don't have a minimum order quantity. So that's good to look at, especially if you're a beginner and you don't have a huge budget. You want to make sure that they have an MOQ that you can actually order. So if it's 1,000 pieces, then most likely you can't afford that if you're a beginner, or you don't want to buy that much as a beginner. So make sure you're looking at the MOQ, but that's something totally for another video. So above the MOQ, we can see the price range, and this can range from, low to high depending on how much you buy. So if you buy the MOQ, the minimum order quantity, most likely you're going to be paying the highest price. So on the right side, we can see the highest price. And then if we get let's say instead of 100, we get 10,000, most likely we're going to be paying the lower price. So the price differs depending on what order quantity you get. So let's go ahead and just click on this listing and check it out. And I'm going to show you a few things that we can look at to make sure that it is a good supplier to work with. So really quick before we continue with the video, if you guys ever need extra help, I'm going to leave my email somewhere up here on the screen, and you can feel free to email me any questions, or if you ever need extra help, email me, and I love helping you guys out, and I love getting those emails. Even if you just want to say hello, I don't mind, and I usually respond pretty quickly too, so feel free. That's some extra help for you guys, and I love helping you guys out. So up here we can see it says 5 years. I like to recommend that people work with suppliers that are at least more than 1 year. So if it says 1 year, then it's kind of iffy to me. So let's go back here actually and check it out. If you guys want to see where this is on the main page right here, it's right here. So you can see this guy's 4 years. This is fine to work with. 1 year. So this one I wouldn't be too sure of, especially because they have a one-piece minimum order quantity. That's kind of weird too. So I would not mess with someone like this. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 1 year I would stay away from. 5 years. So anything 2 years and up is usually good, and I like to work with people that have above 2 years because it means they've been in the business for a while, and they've probably worked out their kinks. And if they are below 1 year, then they could just be a scammer or a third party that just created a listing. So let's go back onto the listing and check out a few more things. So once we come on here onto any listing, we can check out the company profile. So go ahead and click on company profile, and this is where the assessed supplier kicks in. This is where we could see if things have been verified, if they actually have a legit location somewhere in China or wherever, and we could see if it's been verified. So this guy has his location right here, and it says verified, so that's good. And above that, we can see business type. So it is a manufacturer. So most likely it's not a third party trying to source it from another manufacturer, because it says manufacturer. So that means that this company is actually manufacturing all of its products and its catalog itself. So the point is, with this verified thing, we just want to see that all these boxes are checked and verified, meaning that it has been looked at and everything is legit, and it's not just some unknown company that hasn't been verified and has no proof that it even exists. Also, you can scroll down a little bit more and see some of the certificates, and these are all verified as well. And you're just going to see some stats on the company, like where they work with, how much of their business is in a certain place. So you can see North America is almost half their business. And also, if you scroll down all the way, you can send them a message as well. So now we are back on the page. A few other things I like to look at is good high quality pictures. So make sure they're zoomable and high definition. That means that they aren't just some random listing that threw up some crappy pictures and just wants to scam a few people. So as you can see, this guy has some good pictures. And another pro tip for you guys is, if they do have good pictures, we can ask them if we can use some of those pictures, and then we can use those for our listing. That way we don't have to take any product shots from a third party or ourselves. This is what I absolutely do on almost all my products. I make sure my supplier has high quality pictures and they can supply them to me. Just make sure that the supplier actually owns those pictures. That way they're not from someone else, and then you can get sued for using those pictures without permission. So just double check that these are the supplier's actual pictures and they have the rights and they own these pictures. So this supplier has some good pictures. We could scroll down and see that they have trade assurance, like we clicked on the box. So obviously, also we can see the payments that they accept. And another tip for you guys is you can use PayPal if you guys want to be safe as well. Just remember, you will be paying a fee for that. So that's up to you guys. Here we can also go down to company profile and see some of the same stuff if you guys didn't want to go on that main page. We can see the year they were established, which is another cool thing to look at to make sure that they are not brand new and they have been in business for a while and it has been verified. You can also see some if they have videos or photos, and these are all verified of the actual location and manufacturer. So most likely this is going to be legit because it is verified and these are pictures of the actual company. So basically the point is, if something looks fishy, then it probably is fishy. So I would stay away from it. And that goes along with, if something looks really good, and it looks too good to be true, then it probably is too good to be true. That's what I've realized through my experience here on selling on Amazon so far, that if it looks too good to be true, then most likely it is. Because, you know, if you are paying a really low price for a high quality product, it just doesn't exist, because you either sacrifice one or sacrifice the other, or meet somewhere in the middle. You can't have the best quality item for the lowest price, because they wouldn't even be in business doing that. So if it looks too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And make sure you guys don't just go with your heart and be like, oh, this looks so good, the price looks so good, the quality looks so good, I'm just gonna go with it, because that's how you get screwed over. Also, one more pro tip for you guys is, you guys can email the supplier and you can ask them for a sample. And most likely, if they say no to a sample, that means that they don't actually have a warehouse or supplies, and they may be a scammer. Because if they do say yes to sending you a sample, that means they actually have the product and they actually manufacture that product, and they are willing to send you a sample, which is good. Another pro tip for you guys would be ask your supplier a lot of questions and sound educated. If you guys don't know how to sound educated, check out a lot of my other videos, and I teach you guys some phrases and terms that suppliers use, whether it's from shipping or things like the MOQ. Just sound educated, and make sure you negotiate on pricing, which, you know, that can be a whole nother video. The point is, we don't want to sound like a beginner, because if we do, they're going to try to step all over us and take advantage of that and maybe charge you a higher price. So make sure you sound like a legitimate business that knows what they're talking about, and someone that they actually want to work with and not screw over. Also, something else that you guys can look at is the quality control, and this is going to assure you that you will get products that are not going to be damaged or unusable or not exactly what the buyer is going to be ordering. So this is also something to check out. Make sure that they have a quality control process and they have been verified through this process. So it looks like this one looks great, and you can trust that almost all of your products are going to be great, if not all of them, obviously. So if they don't have a quality control, then you may end up getting products shipped to Amazon that are not the best quality, or they could be possibly broken or whatever already. And if a buyer gets that item, most likely they're going to leave a bad review, and that is not good for your selling and sales and everything. So make sure that they have a quality control. So honestly, that's pretty much it. Just make sure that if everything looks good and verified, and you clicked all three of those boxes and they're over a year of experience, then most likely you're going to be okay. And especially if you have the trade assurance or you use PayPal or something like that, you guys will be safe and there's nothing to worry about. Just make sure that if something looks sketchy, if something looks fishy, if something looks too good to be true, then don't take the chance and just move on. It's not worth it, and it's definitely not worth losing your money. That's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys learned what a good and bad supplier looks like. My hope is that I got one of you to avoid going with a bad supplier or having a bad experience selling on Amazon because you simply didn't know how to source a good supplier and a good manufacturer to work with. So I hope I assisted one of you with that and helped you get to the end goal, which is making money. So if you are that one person and I did help you out, make sure you go down below, click on that like button if you enjoyed this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And last but not least, go down below and comment I subscribed, or you can ask me any questions and I respond to every single comment. So that's going to be the end of this video, guys. Our channel's growing fast, and thank you guys so much for all the emails and all of the comments on my videos. Those are what keeps me going and helping you guys, because it is really cool just to see all the help I'm giving to people. So remember, email me if you ever need help. Here is my email right across here if you didn't get it the first time. And ask me any questions, or if you guys ever need extra help, that's my email, and I will always respond to you guys. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.